Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Roman Reigns made his triumphant return to WWE television last week on Raw. The head of the table had not been seen since he was attacked by Braun Breaker on the Raw following WrestleMania 41 before his return on the Red brand earlier this month. On this past Monday's edition of Raw, Roman Reigns confronted Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed during the final segment of the show. Paul Heyman's faction attacked Reigns, but Jey Uso made the save. It was announced by the company today that Reigns and the Yeet Master will be teaming up to battle Reed and Breaker in a tag team match at SummerSlam 2025. Listed below are 4 signs that Jey Uso will betray Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. 4. Roman Reigns rarely helps Jey Uso in WWE. Jey Uso saved Roman Reigns on Raw this past Monday night from a brutal attack by Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Bronson Reed was moments away from hitting the OTC with a tsunami splash when Uso rushed to the ring. Uso could secretly resent Roman Reigns for rarely having his back when he needed it. He may be planning on betraying his former bloodline stablemate at WWE SummerSlam as a way to get revenge and to make it known that he no longer supports him. 3. Paul Heyman needs someone to replace Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins won the men's Money in the Bank ladder match last month, and it seemed like the promotion had major plans for him this year. Unfortunately, the Visionary suffered an injury during his match against LA Knight at Saturday night's main event and will be out of action for the foreseeable future. Paul Heyman may decide to approach Jey Uso ahead of WWE SummerSlam and cut a deal with the former World Heavyweight Champion. The Oracle could ensure that Jey Uso would be given the Money in the Bank contract to cash in for a future title shot if he betrayed Roman Reigns during the tag team match at WWE SummerSlam. Number 2. He may be planning on reuniting with Solo Sikoa. Jey Uso and Solo Sikoa used to be aligned in the bloodline, but that is no longer the case. Sikoa has now formed the My Family Tree faction on WWE SmackDown alongside Tama Tonga, JC Mateo, and Tai Tonga, Hikuleo. Sikoa will be defending the United States Championship against Jacob Fatu in a steel cage match at WWE SummerSlam. Sikoa and Uso could reach an agreement ahead of SummerSlam. Main event: Jey may decide to betray Roman Reigns at the PLE in exchange for a prominent position in the My Family Tree faction. Sikoa likely still has issues with Reigns after failing to become the new tribal chief of the bloodline earlier this year. Reigns got the better of the former North American champion in a tribal combat match on the January 6 edition of WWE Raw. 1. Seth Rollins' injury could have forced plans to change. Roman Reigns shared a video following this past Monday's episode of Raw and noted that Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed believe they are the future of WWE. However, the 40-year-old stated that the only way to become the future of the company was to win major matches at PLEs and create moments. If main event: Jey Uso, the Yeet Man himself, would trust me one last time, I loved it last night. I loved standing shoulder to shoulder, taking on anybody. I love doing that with my family. If he'll trust me, and accept this challenge with me, I say we take on the Brawns, said Reigns. Jey Uso did not issue a response to Roman Reigns before the match was made official earlier today. This could be a hint that Uso does not trust the OTC and may be planning on betraying him at WWE SummerSlam. The road to SummerSlam has always been filled with chaos for the bloodline. But this year, the cracks are too deep to hide. While Roman Reigns walks to the ring draped in gold and arrogance, the shadows behind him grow longer, and the man casting the longest one is Jey Uso. Once the right-hand man, now the uneasy brother torn between loyalty and legacy, Jey has shown subtle hints for weeks that his time to betray Roman may come sooner than anyone expects. Here are 4 signs that point to Jey Uso pulling the ultimate power move at SummerSlam, and leaving the tribal chief shocked, alone, and possibly dethroned. 1. Jey's silence is louder than Roman's words. Over the past months, every time Roman Reigns has barked orders, Jey's eyes have told a different story. He stands behind Roman, stone-faced, hands clasped, but if you watch closely, his stare drifts down to the floor. Sometimes he closes his eyes when Roman calls himself the head of the table. He clenches his jaw when Solo Sikoa is praised as the new enforcer. This is the same Jey Uso who was once forced to bow down to Roman or be exiled from his own family. He remembers the beatings, the humiliations, the tears that fell in empty arenas during the Thunderdome era. And yet, Roman pretends that never happened, acting like he made Jey, as if Jey didn't bleed for him. Backstage, the cameras never catch Jey celebrating Roman's wins anymore. When Roman raises the championship high, Solo stares in awe. Heyman claps nervously. Jey just watches, arms folded, as if he's waiting for the moment the crown will slip. His silence is thunder, and at SummerSlam, the storm might break. 2. Solo Sikoa's rise has left Jey in the shadows. When Roman recruited Solo Sikoa, he told the world it was to protect the bloodline. But the real message was clear: Jey was never enough. He needed a better, more ruthless brother at his side. Solo is the stone-faced hitman who does what Roman says without a word of protest. He's the insurance policy against rebellions like Sami Zayn's. He's Roman's new real right-hand man. Every time Solo dispatches another opponent with a Samoan spike, the camera pans to Jey, and there's always a flicker of resentment. The same move that made Jey famous as part of the Usos, the superkick, is overshadowed by Solo's cold, deadly spike. Jey knows that as long as Solo is loyal, he'll never be trusted like before. That bond he built with Roman during their war in 2020 is ashes now. He's expendable again, and Jey Uso has never handled being second best well. Betrayal could be the only way to remind Roman who the true backbone of the bloodline has always been. 3. Jey's words to Jimmy still echo. A few weeks ago on SmackDown, Jey pulled Jimmy aside backstage. No mics, no Paul Heyman lurking, just two brothers and the tension that binds them. Cameras caught only fragments. "He think he can play us, Us. You know how this ends. SummerSlam. Be ready." WWE didn't air the full conversation, but the WWE Universe is good at reading between the lines. Jimmy's absence from ringside lately is no accident. He's waiting. Watching. And Jey? He's the mastermind who could do what no one else has dared, split the bloodline from the inside out. Jey's loyalty to his twin runs deeper than Roman's fabricated loyalty to family. If Roman pushes him too far at SummerSlam, belittles him one more time, uses him as a shield against Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, or whoever Roman's next big threat is, Jimmy will be there. And the Usos together have always been unstoppable when they fight for each other instead of under Roman's thumb. 4. The prophecy of the real tribal chief. Roman Reigns has declared himself the tribal chief so many times that people forget there's no official crown. It's a title won by fear, not love. But Jey Uso was always the heart of the bloodline. He kept Solo in check. He calmed Roman when he lost his mind backstage. He bled for the family name long before Roman needed a nickname. Last month, an elder of the Anoa'i family made a surprise appearance at a live event. He whispered something to Jey. Fans at ringside swore they heard the word chief. Jey looked stunned. Since then, there's been a swagger in his walk, a spark in his promos, a defiance in his eyes when Roman talks down to him. Jey knows that if he beats Roman, or helps someone else do it, he can claim what Roman never really owned, the respect of the family. At SummerSlam, in front of 60,000 roaring fans, Jey Uso might just decide the true way to honor his bloodline is to destroy the false king who corrupted it. How it could happen at SummerSlam. Picture it, Roman Reigns vs Drew McIntyre in the main event. Paul Heyman at ringside. Solo lurking like a shark. Jey Uso pacing, eyes darting between Roman and Drew. Roman struggles after a claymore. He looks to Jey, "Help me, Us." Jey slides in. But instead of hitting Drew, he blasts Roman with a superkick heard around the world. The arena explodes. Solo tries to intervene. Jimmy Uso emerges from the crowd, taking Solo out with a steel chair. Roman crawls, stunned, betrayed, desperate, and Drew finishes him off. 1, 2, 3. The tribal chief dethroned. The bloodline in shambles. Jey and Jimmy standing tall over Roman's fallen body, the prophecy fulfilled. The real head of the table isn't the man who bullies his family, it's the brother who defended it when it mattered most. One betrayal, one superkick, and Roman Reigns' empire could crumble overnight. If you listen closely, you can almost hear Jey Uso's silence whispering the promise, SummerSlam. Be ready.